Dobbo, another game that you kind of had to, it's another win for Nzada 4, but it's another game where you maybe had to grind it out a little bit.
I was frustrated last week that we thought we won the game with character. We're much happier tonight. It may not be so easy to see for you guys watching replays. I thought, we had to grind it out, but I thought our processes and everything much better. Our breakdown was superb, our set piece was solid, ball retention good, against a team that just wanted to hack the ball and make us start back in our 22. So I thought we were quantitably, I know you're going to say 17-7, no, but I thought in terms of the stuff that we wanted to get better, we were quantitably better. Turning over 4 balls in their 22 in the first half was frustrating. I thought it. Sorry.
Right, as you were saying?
There's a bolt on my pocket attached to my car keys, so I was not putting it on my mouth. It's a bloody stupid thing to do when you talk. So I thought, you 17-7. You think that that was a really good team, and their tactic was good. In the rain, hold us down, and then put that sort of top bench on. So, I'm to be honest, pretty pleased with that performance. I think on a dry day, not knocking those balls, those long passes from 10 to one of the tight forwards in the rain. Maybe tactically we got that wrong because we let go 4 of those. But generally, I think on a dry day with that amount of territory and position like we had in the first half, I was pretty pleased with the performance, to be honest.
I know after the Lions game you said that guys you'd say that you like winning's become a habit. Do you now feel that maybe bowling towards that?
I do think so. I think that was in those conditions it was much stiffer than we realised. In those conditions against you apparently Consola mentioned how important playing to Newlands was, and they were motivated, and I thought their plans were good. So I thought for us to get a win, and I thought, without being arrogant, I think we thoroughly deserved to win that game. Frustration was at half time that the score was 3-0. So hopefully we win, and that's where we're going.
David, you take that view, considering the conditions, then that you don't look too strictly on the attack, but considering do you feel it's just...
I thought our attack, those conditions were tough, and I thought we sort of attacked constantly better. I mean, I haven't seen the stat yet, but our phase count was definitely much higher than last week. We worked harder off the ball. Port Ruan 5 meters from their line last week, twice this week. So our conversion rate is poor, but I thought our attack in the conditions was certainly better.
Stephen, just in terms of the physical battle up front, you had them in the scrums and then they came back and scored a try off the scrums. Is that a bit left an unhappy feeling in the camp?
I think we had them under the pump especially the first half, got a lot of penalties and put some real pressure on them. I think the lapse in concentration, it was 15 minutes to go and they scored a nice pick up and go try from the back of the scrum. Definitely something we'll go look at in the week, get that consistent scrum performance where every scrum we know we need to put our foot down and actually put them under pressure. So it was a bit like a bitter pill to swallow, but still really proud of the boys, how they stood up and came with a lot of physicality.
Late in the game, there were a few. They could have come back and still got lost by less than 7.
Yeah.
That would have been an important bonus point
Yeah,
for them.
100%.
And I remembered what you said last week about Sabella not being allowed to kick, and he did kick, and it landed you up in quite a lot of trouble. Was that a bit frustrating because you should have actually possibly scored a try?
One stage we were talking about us going for the bonus point, and I think. With Damien Willems, when we held that that rolling penalty close to the line, given that Dylan was walking over, and then we're in bonus point territories. So then we sort of began to defend, not giving away their last try. It's a couple of times this season where it's shared across the back three, including Damien's included in the back three defence, where we haven't realised we've taken the ball back, or we return a kick when their chase line's still 30 metres off and we're kicking to touch, and these guys are getting massive territorial gains with the line out. You know, it's not new this season, and it's something I'm certainly going to address. You know, I think Dylan got a hard time with that tap kick. I don't think he knocked it on, nor did, and he certainly got knocked out the way. But that had to be a maul into the corner. We're beginning to crack them in the maul. I thought what we're doing really nicely is that this is the best maul in they mauled the Reds for miles last week in Buenos Aires, and they got nothing on us today, so that was good. But there are challenges around the back three and kicking, yeah, definitely. You know, Gars is not known as a siege gun boot, neither is Dylan, and then the wings aren't really kickers, so that's potentially a red flag or an area of concern for us.
In terms of decision making as well, there's just a couple of times where that patience that worked against the Lions in the last couple of minutes, you had Damien put you under pressure with trying to run the ball from where he was close to the touch. He could have just ran it into touch there. That tap kick off Dylan. What was your discussion with him in terms of that and just keeping?
Yeah, I think at that stage we were trying to get towards the bonus point, so we were a bit more cavalier, and then obviously once they scored their try we sort of got into more defensive mode. I think patience is certainly something that we can improve on, you know. But you know, we're sitting here plucking apart a performance. We see us the only unbeaten. I know round 2 doesn't matter. Round 4 we're the only unbeaten team in Super Rugby, and still, like I said, not operating at our potential, but it's certainly a big step up for me. I mean, I think I was speaking to Gonzalo briefly. They wanted to come for our breakdown, and they didn't get one steal. Yeah, that was something that was much poorer at Ellis Park. You know, I thought there were. Yeah, our line out, you know, is other than the first one, is going really nicely. Our maul, we almost broke them a couple of times. I think we were a bit unlucky there with legs being lifted and a couple of calls, but yeah, this is a step up. If where we're going, you know, not relying purely on character in our defence. Norman's obviously beside himself. He's blaming Ali for Mark for the scrum because it would have been donuts. I think 1 try in 3 games and Newlands not the end of the world.
But do you think you can apply to have that yellow card of Francois Landry rescinded? Because that seemed ridiculous, and I think you can have a process where you can appeal the yellow card.
We actually started laughing in the box because you heard of this jargon in the World Cup, you know, a mitigating factor. But the guy's hit the bloke's leg. You know what I mean? I know he's hit with the head, and his arm is coming round. So I think that's a fair. I think I certainly would look at that. I mean, do you know what I mean? A mitigating. I mean, the guy wasn't dropping. I mean, he hit the guy's leg. I mean, it was more dangerous for France. You know, but yeah, I thought there was a tough one, but I thought we handled it well.
You still subjected them to a terror session in the 10 minutes he wasn't on the field.
Yeah. Jamie Roberts is now he's god of Cape Town because he came in the scrum on the flank and got a scrum penalty. Got the man of the match. He's got the DHL man of the match. He's hired himself a Cobra, one of those cars, you know. So it's a vest. He's got a vest. It's a runaway train. Now we're going to have to sort of reduce that head size. But yeah, what's nice though, that Jamie was an edgy. You know, we took a chance with him, and even now, he's not making line breaks, but every time he gets the ball, you can hear the noise in the crowd, and he's making a massive contribution to the field. He is a.
Mark, you got a question?
John, you would have heard the Argentine coach speaking a little bit about Newlands. How much of a factor is that this season? Just sort of soak it all up and take it all in, because you can obviously be distracted by the potential of the runaway train that is a good rugby season.
Yeah, the Newlands thing. You know, our emotion is probably not the most positive. I mean, we're playing for it. It means a lot to us, but the guys are sad. You know, we had the sleep over here last night, Mark, and there was. This place, you could stand in room at the back here. People, our parents just wanted to hear what we thought about that. So, what is back? So we thought it'd be a positive thing, and it probably is because we want to make it proud. And in our mind, there's one way to say goodbye to the stadium, you know, and that's the sharp end of this tournament hosted here. There's no question. That's our standard. What is getting a bit frustrating is every coach that comes here, this is their So Argentina, you know, they've got a history of South African rugby going back to Isak van Heerden, and now it's suddenly cheap as their last chance at Newlands. Put a human drying his eyes before the game, so I can't believe it's our last game at Newlands. And so snorting bulls go out the thing, and you know what I mean? And Hurricanes, it's the last game at Newlands, mate. How they come out. So next week somebody's going to tell the Blues it's the last time we ever played Newlands against Steve. So it's motivating opposition as well. But I think the consensus amongst the players, we see we had an interview with Claire Keaton in the Sunday Times yesterday, and Sia literally had a tear going down his cheek. So hopefully it'll, we can use it in a positive way.
Talking about next week, have you got to the stage now, because now you've got the bar. You have got the bar. I got it wrong last week. You've got the bar after that game. Have you got to the stage where you might need to manage? I mean, I know you've got players that have come back from injury and that, but would you look at managing players or anything before?
No, we're going to go full out. This is a massive game. The Blues they come here. They always box well here. I think 2 years ago, remember that fight with the Urban, and that's the thing. We know it's what sort of game it's going to be. It's going to be a great game. They're a much better team than just the conference they're in. Is a conference of death, obviously. So our goal was, we sort of got a periodization plan, and was these first 5 to get as many points as they can with all these 4 to 5 home games. Take a bye, and then maybe we've got 1 or 2 theoretically easier games. We can create more opportunities for other players, and then hopefully go on tour in a really good position points wise. That the tour doesn't become too precious, because we've got Crusaders, Chiefs and Brumbies away, which is not easy. And then we come up to two home games, and hopefully peak again for playoffs. So this is, and we had a long discussion yesterday. We full metal jacket for this one, and if we can get 5 from 5, then I think we're in a really strong position.
What do you expect on the Blues?
Obviously the cliche everywhere, they're physical, it's direct, it's niggly, but they've got some real X factor as well. He's on tour, so it's going to be a classic South African New Zealand game. They're fast paced, they're a good side. They're a much better side than where they're finishing. We all know that, and we were there at Auckland last year. This conference is so tough. So it's going to be a cracker.
Just to go back to my question, because I was going to lead on to...
I didn't answer it.
No, I did. You did answer
Okay.
it. You did, but I should have put an ancillary on there.
Okay.
About the Springbok resting protocols. The way I know it, you're sort of banking on being able to go on tour with a lot of these guys, sort of doing the...
Kinsey likes a bar called, I think it's called Rosie O'Hara's in Wellington now. So I went to probe him with that.
You're not going to Hurricanes.
We're not playing that Hurricane. Obviously Kinsey and Bongi are going to be well rested. So that's sorry, Kinsey and Bongi are going to be well rested. But we will get to the 2 or 3 games for Stephen, France, and Peter Steff, probably over the second block or on the tour. Yeah, Rusty did say that if we get to a critical game and we need, then they'll laugh. But I mean, New Zealand have made a massive fuss, and from my understanding is we actually more. Sorry, 3 games. I'm not sure the All Blacks have asked much. They've controlled game time like 40, 60. So I'm not sure.
All right, all good.